you considering buying gel Bible highlighters? Well, in this video, I share the biggest complaint that I have with them, and it's probably not what you think, and I share what I switched to instead. When looking for Bible-safe highlighters, gel highlighters will oftentimes come up because they're generally regarded as being a good choice for a no-bleed Bible highlighter. That's because most liquid-based highlighters will definitely bleed through your Bible pages. Now, all highlighters and pens will shadow through on very thin Bible paper, but bleeding is really what you don't want. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some things to consider before you buy gel highlighters and what I've switched to that I am totally in love with. But before I get started, I want to share a free gift that'll help you with your Bible note-taking skills. It's called 35 Easy Ways to Take Bible Notes, and it's a great tool to help you get more engaged with your Bible. You can find the link down in the description. So I've been using these Mr. Pen gel highlighters for years, and obviously I love them, else I wouldn't have been using them for so long. They don't bleed through my Bible's paper, and it's very thin paper. And what I mean by bleed is that they don't saturate the other side of the page. They do, however, shadow quite a bit because they are a nice, deep, rich color. And I believe that Mr. Pen has lighter gel-based highlighters, but I haven't looked into those. But the shadowing never really bothered me that much. And also, sometimes you'll see people review these gel highlighters and not like them because they're kind of sticky. However, the stickiness always dries up, at least with these Mr. Pens. So that isn't a problem for me either. So, what was the breaking point for me? Not being able to write over the top of them. You see, they're gel, meaning they're like a wax, and pens won't write over the top of them, at least not right after you lay the highlighter down on paper. You see, what I like to do is underline or circle or box off certain words of a phrase that I may have just highlighted, and my pens won't write over the gel very well. And not only that, but the gel gunks up the tip of my pens, and I got really tired of dealing with that. So I switched to these Mr. Pen highlighters. Now these, hopefully you can see that and it's not too much of a glare. Now these are a liquid-based highlighter, but they do dry very fast and they shadow very lightly. In fact, more lightly than the gels I was using, but that's probably because they're, as you can tell, they're a little bit lighter on the color spectrum. They also don't tend to smear ink like my Frixion highlighters do. And did I mention that the colors are absolutely gorgeous? They are nicely saturated and there's a nice selection of them. My only complaint with these is that the green lays down very lightly. But if I go over it a second time, it still doesn't bleed through the paper, although it does take just a little bit longer to dry, but literally not very long, like just seconds really. I also like the fact that they have chisel tips, which makes doing fine line work a little easier. Sometimes I like to highlight something and then box around it in a different colored highlighter, and the point on these chisel tips work really well for that. Now I will say that I'm not ditching my gel highlighters forever. I'm still using them in my journals and planners because I want to keep these new highlighters fresh for as long as I can. Because they're liquid, they probably won't last as long as a gel highlighter. And here's a little tip for you. I like to store these upside down in a cup. I do this with all of my pens too. They don't dry up as fast that way. And storing them upside down hasn't caused any kind of leakage. And I bought these on Thanksgiving and now we're in January. So that's long enough to know if there would be a leakage problem from storing them upside down. Now, if you're interested in these liquid Mr. Pen highlighters, I will post a link down in the description for you. Now, I will say about the Mr. Pen gel highlighters, they've been very good for me and I still recommend them to anyone looking for a vibrant highlighting color scheme. Now, as long as you use a light touch with them and don't worry about the tackiness because they will dry, and you can get around the fact that you can't really write over them very well, they're still really good highlighters for Bibles. So I'll go ahead and link to those down below as well so you can check those out. So if this video helped you, will you consider giving it a thumbs up? It helps YouTube know who to show it to next, and I also really appreciate it. It does help me out. So thanks for watching. Make sure to check the videos out on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.